Hi, thank you so much for sending so much love from my last video on how terrible my interview went and how hopeless I feel. And you have told me such nice words on how there's still hope, there's still future, it's just one interview and nothing's gonna happen. But here's the real truth. It's not really about how bad my interview went, but it was actually about how terrible the interviewer made me feel about myself and how worthless I am. So it starts with her being 10 minutes late. And for the clarity, this is a consulting interview and from a really big firm, like every one of you would have known, and you could really guess which firm it was from. She was 10 minutes late in the most casual attire and appearance. It literally straight away made me feel like this wasn't really that important to her and she was just doing for the sake of doing. So it starts, she asked me a couple of behavioral questions for which I answered, but she gave me those expressions. Like for every answer, she had an expression on her face on, like, come on. It just instantly, for the, well, for first few minutes, maybe I was thinking they were testing on how I would react or how I would perform under pressure, but eventually it just got clear that it's not a strategic move, it's just who she was. And with every question, my confidence just kept going low and low and low. So, usually you get 30 minutes for your case, but I just got like 20 minutes because her 10 minutes late was not, I didn't get those 10 minutes back. She said she has a client meeting afterwards, so she was in rush. And for the end, okay, it also starts with her not explaining what the role is, what the company culture is, which is ideally what you get for your first 10 minutes. Like, you tell me about yourself, or after I finish telling you about myself, you give me some context. So there was nothing, any such sort of information given to me. So she was genuinely not interested. It was like, on the first minute she decided she doesn't want to take me, and she just made sure, like, I understand, maybe I wasn't a fit, maybe my experience weren't matching, you saw my resume and everything, but you do not make that person feel bad about yourself. I hope you're getting what I mean. Like, fine, you might not be my fit, I might not be your fit, but it should end over there. You should not drag it the whole 1 hour and make a scene out of it. So that happened. Also, when you're telling, the it was for an experienced candidate and they picked me. I didn't have much of an experience, I just had 2 years experience, and that was for someone with 5 or 6 years of experience. But I got shortlisted, I cleared round one, I was in round two. So it was really not on my side, it was on the HR side to figure that thing out. But she was like, you don't have the experience we need, and blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, I understand, and I gave a solid reason why, even though I don't have a experience, why I would be a fit and how I have been using those transferable skills throughout my life. So she wasn't convinced on that, and that's how I think that was the main reason why she wasn't interested. But then the point is, as I said, it's to not make the candidate feel bad about themselves. And it ends, the moment the interview ends, she asked me what my name is. You have, like, you have been interviewing a candidate for an hour. Like, our interview was scheduled 3 days ago, and you don't know what my name is. Like, is this a joke? So yeah, that was a terrible experience, and I really cried. I cried the whole day, feeling really worthless, because it's not about one interview going bad. It's about, I just felt maybe I'm not fit for this. I wouldn't be getting more offers on this, and maybe I should change my path. I should change everything, and all those things just kept going in my head. And now, right now, I'm just making this video so that it could be somewhere in the internet. And in future, when I'm doing something nice in this field, I could look back to this day and be like, look, here we are. So, on that positive note, I'm just dropping this video here, and maybe it might help someone with my same experience. If it did, just leave it in the comment and we'll talk about that. And hopefully, all the people out there, I hope you get your dream jobs. There's one more thing that I forgot to say earlier. So, a company makes you go through these 5 to 10 rounds for a single role, but then they leave a candidate on a single interviewer, and they let that interviewer decide the whole thing for the candidate. Like, how are you making sure that that interviewer is not partial? Like, how is my entire decision based on one interviewer, but you make me go through all these 10 rounds?